The digital commerce market is very complex. There's a lot of things you have to do right if you want to increase your margins, beat out some of those giants in the space. Tech-led retailers or brands or manufacturers, they want the shiniest technology. They want the most modern, fastest, most feature-rich technology out there. It's very difficult building a tech stack that can support that. One of the most common approaches taken is to just, I'm going to get the best technology for my order management, for my promotions, for my catalog, for pricing, go down the list, personalization, for all these different tools. Unfortunately, as a result, you end up with this spaghetti of a architecture supporting all these different things. It's very difficult to integrate all these systems. You end up supporting a middleware that's tying all these different pieces together. And so this approach of building a commerce architecture of fully best of breed solutions is becoming just too big of a challenge for most retailers, brands, distributors, manufacturers to manage. We at VTEX advocate more of a pragmatic approach to this architecture. When talking about composable commerce, I think it's really helpful to understand the context. I think a lot of people think of e-commerce, they think of like an Amazon.com, a Walmart, a lot of these really fast growing D2C brands, and they think the market's doing great. The actual context, when you look at the financials of some of these, both B2C and B2B retailers, distributors, brand manufacturers, what you come to find is the vast majority of them are not profitable. They're actually losing a lot of money on marketing, on some of the technology tools they're using. You have to do a lot of things right. And so what we've found is that a pragmatic approach to your e-commerce technology stack is critical. And we call it pragmatic composability, approach where you balance both getting up and running fast and having low costs, but also have a cutting edge tech stack.
The main reason for migrating to VTEX were twofolds. One, we want business agility, and second one is solution agility. And we wanted to look at a product which is future-proof in terms of investing from technology. And predominantly from an architecture standpoint, we're looking from a composable but complete architecture.
The main way that VTEX supports operational efficiency and great customer experiences for retailers, brands, and distributors is enabling those companies to get out of the way and focus on their customers, focus on their experience, and not having to worry about the tech stack as much. We spend all of our time focused on order management challenges, promotion challenges, personalization, search, all these different things, all these different technologies that are developing, changing month by month. Even AI, what role does that play in e-commerce? And as a result, a retailer or brand or B2B company, whatever they may be, can focus on specific challenges that their customers have. So for instance, we know that our customers are searching for like one widget or one specific product attribute, and we want to double down and figure out where our inventory gaps are there, while letting a provider, VTEX in this case, focus on order management, on inventory management, on integrating with all of the shippers in your region, that sort of thing. The benefit for operational efficiency of having a partner like VTEX in place is being able to pick and choose the battles that you think you can win, you have a competitive advantage there, and focusing on those. There's a couple customer examples I think do a really good job telling the story about VTEX and VTEX's pragmatic composability approach to e-commerce tech. So first off is a company, Hearst, I think almost everyone knows, have publications with hundreds of thousands, millions of readers, including Cosmopolitan, Men's Health, Women's Health, Car and Driver, many more. And what they've done using VTEX, using our APIs, is they've actually commerce enabled their publications. So you could be reading men's health pages and an editor can talk about a product, let's say a exercise bike or a weight set, and you can actually see the review of it. Basically, the product detail page is included on that article, and that draws from catalog APIs. And a reader can check out directly from the publication. Payments are included using Stripe and a bunch of other integrations behind the scenes. Hearst didn't just go out and select all the best applications out there when they were building this. They decided we want to pick 2 or 3 core applications, core partners to build this. What they're doing is really, really cool, and I think a great example of the future of commerce. Second example I want to highlight is Colgate, obviously one of the biggest CPG companies in the world, super well-known brand, but they actually use this for B2B, for business to business sales. The use case is estheticians to dermatologists who buy their products, such as their Elta MD skincare line, and they actually have these professionals buying those products. But what they've done is typical B2B buying process is a lot more complex than in the consumer world. There's a lot of workflows, pricing requirements, shipping requirements, permissions. You can go down the line. There's a lot of differences in B2B. And what they've been able to do with VTEX is they created this modern architecture using our APIs, using our platform, and then they built it in the US and they were able to replicate it, take it and place it in Switzerland, take it and place it in other countries in Europe. And that's what they're doing right now. They're replicating it over and over using our technology, using our APIs. And I think that's just a really good example of creating a modern experience also in B2B. To be successful in e-commerce nowadays, you can't just take a cookie cutter commerce site, replicate it, expect to sell like tons of stuff online. You're gonna have to stand out from competition. Ecosystem has gotten a lot more complex. Consumers expect more dynamic pages, more video, more inventory availability. What we encourage is just one, getting live quickly, taking a minimum viable architecture approach, and then testing each incremental app you use, like let's say your personalization strategy, your search strategy, testing that and deciding which applications, which development efforts are going to have the best return. And one of the tools that I've actually built along with some other members at VTEX, some of our partners, including some of our partners in the SI space, is a tool, a calculator that when you put in your company's information, your GMV online, your business model, all those sort of things, it'll actually calculate what kind of architecture is the best return for your business. The final thing I would mention, which we've already talked a lot about, is pragmatic composability and this approach to architecture where you're not selecting everything as a best of breed application, but you're also kind of having a more sophisticated, advanced approach to your tech stack. Because again, commerce has become more complex than it was just 5 or 10 years ago.
So we certainly liked, many years ago and still like VTEX's architecture and their innovation. We also like to partner with companies that we believe will continue to innovate 5, 10 years from now. When you're with a company for a decade, I can say we've seen that level of innovation.